Week 16 as we push on in this NFL season. Man, Week 15 is a good one. Playoffs loom overhead. Some more teams have been eliminated, a lot more in Week 15. Welcome back to our NFL Weekly Predictions. We are doing Week 16. We finally have 3 people on a video. We're not just doing solo NFL predictions. It's been a long time coming. We are back at you guys with together videos. If you guys saw our NFL game show, we hope you guys enjoyed. We had a lot of fun recording that. But if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe, and let's get into our NFL Week 16 predictions. All right, Game 1, Friday Night Football, not Thursday Night Football. Vikings Saints. Now, normally, the Saints win this game, I think, easily. But we've seen how the Vikings have caused the Saints team problems, whether it's in the playoffs, the Minnesota Miracle, knocking them out last year with that overtime touchdown to Rudolph to win the game. And I think this is definitely going to be a bit easier of a game for the Saints, especially this year as the Vikings are not as strong of a team. But I think this is a Saints win 27-10.
I think that although the Vikings have looked good or solid in the last couple of weeks with offensive threats like Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, I think the Saints are just too overwhelming for most teams. They don't have really any gaps in that entire team, offense or defense, especially with Drew Brees back. So I am going to give this one to the Saints 31-27.
I think this game could definitely be an upset potential, but I still feel like the Saints right now are just a little bit better than the Vikings, especially considering the Vikings haven't been as strong. The Saints haven't looked great in recent games, but I think the Vikings is definitely a great revenge game for them, and I think they'll win it, especially with that strong defense and run defense. 23-20 Saints.
Game Buccaneers, Lions. Lions obviously have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Buccaneers with that amazing comeback. As Serge said, the Falcons are getting Vietnam flashbacks. I don't think the Lions will be playing full starters. I think Stafford deserves better. I don't see how the Buccaneers lose this, especially as they want to keep getting wins to potentially overtake the Saints. So I like the Buccaneers in this game, 37-17.
I think that the Bucs just have so much of an overwhelming offense. They have such a good offense. Not many teams can keep up with it, especially this not great Detroit defense. I think they just haven't been great this year. So I'm going to give this one to the Bucs. They're scoring points, 31-17.
I'm also going to give it to the Bucs, 31-24. I think an underrated part of that Bucs team is their pass rush on it today can be very good, and especially against a poor Lions offensive line, I think they can have a feast. Also, Lions, worst rush defense league. If you have Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, start them.
We have the 49ers against the Cardinals, a big divisional game. I think this is actually a game that is pretty important in this division. I think the Cardinals are pushing on for wins. This 49ers team, are they eliminated from the playoffs? I might be wrong.
If the Cardinals, we're recording this at like a 4.
If the Cardinals win this, right? Yeah. So if the Cardinals win, the Week 15, then the 49ers are out of the playoffs. So I guess that's we can't really talk on that right now. I still think this is a Cardinals team, which is good, but the 49ers are also looking good. I don't know. I like the Cardinals. I think just in a closer one. I think they win by a field goal, 27-24.
I think that Arizona, although they haven't looked great, San Francisco with the loss this week to the Cowboys, it wasn't a great loss. Mullins threw a couple interceptions towards the end, which is why I am going to give this one to Arizona, although I think San Francisco will keep them close. Again, I think 27-24 for Arizona.
I'm also going to give Arizona a bit more low scoring. I think the return of George Kittle is a really important storyline here. He might return for this game, and I think
that's incredible.
X factor if that happens. But I don't think he'll play, and if he doesn't, then Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard won't be enough. The defense will keep them in it, but I'm going to give it to the Cardinals 20-17.
We have Raiders, Dolphins. It's actually a very favorable matchup. This very good Dolphins offense. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa has currently the rookie record for touchdown to interception ratio. I believe he has 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions. I think you're right. This Raiders defense has not been good. This offense, obviously, Derek Carr leaving the game in their Saturday night matchup. This is a key game. Can this Dolphins defense get turnovers against a Raiders offense, which is basically Josh Jacobs and then Aguilar a little? But I do like the Dolphins in this one, 23-12.
Yeah, I think that the Dolphins have been, or at least their defense has been really, really good so far this season. They forced turnovers, and the Raiders' offense has not looked great, especially Derek Carr going down with the injury. Mariota did look good when he came in, But I just don't think that was also against a Chargers defense, which hasn't looked as strong as the Dolphins defense, in my opinion. So I am going to give this for the Dolphins, 24-17.
To give it to the Dolphins here. I think the Raiders in free fall in recent weeks. No matter who's starter, Carr or Mariota, the Dolphins turn the ball over way too much, and takeaways win games. So I'm going to give it to Miami as well, 28-24.
We have the Giants against the Ravens. The Giants have yet to play as of recording. They're playing Sunday night tonight at 8:20. I think this is a game. If they beat the Browns, which I think they can, I think Lamar is starting to be a lot more turnover prone, and Bradbury, you have Logan Ryan, you have Julius Peppers, players who can all make plays on the ball and get interceptions. I'm not going to give it to the Giants. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I think they can make this a close game. I'm going to give the same score as one of the other games I actually forgot. The Cardinals, 49ers. I think Ravens win 27-24.
Yeah, I think that actually I am going to go with the upset on this one, and not just because I'm a Giants fan. I think that the Giants are going to be able to hold Lamar in check. Obviously, they struggled against Kyler Murray, but I think that they're learning from that, and Baltimore, they're their only big offensive threat. I know J.K. Dobbins is solid, but their only big offensive threat is Lamar Jackson. And if they can stop him, which I think that guys like Blake Martinez, as you mentioned, and James Bradbury, who can force turnovers, I think they'll be able to do it. And the Giants offense just needs enough to outscore them. So I'm going to give this one to the Giants, 20-17.
Yeah, I have to disagree with you here. I think Lamar Jackson, especially in recent weeks, has really been hitting his stride on the ground or in the air. He has played against good defenses in the past and bested them, like the Patriots last year, or what's the team? The Chiefs. No, not the Chiefs. The Browns this year. But I think he's good enough to beat a good Giants defense. And I think another issue for New York is they're going against the best secondary in the league, or one of the best in Baltimore, which will make it very difficult for Jones or McCoy. Give me the Ravens, 24-10.
Moving on to our next one, Falcons-Chiefs. I think it's a good game, but this Falcons team is just consistently choking. And against a clinical Chiefs offense and decent defense, you can't have that. They're probably they're the threat for the Super Bowl. I would give them the Super Bowl if right now, if I was predicting that. I don't see the Falcons. Matt Ryan, although had a very, very good game and threw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ridley is getting back in form after that minor injury against the Panthers a couple weeks ago. So I think this is a Chiefs win. Give me the Chiefs 37-20.
Yeah, I think that although Atlanta's offenses look good, the Chiefs have a solid defense, and the Chiefs' offense is just too good for the struggling Atlanta defense to keep up. I just can't see I could see Atlanta winning, but not with the way their defense is playing. So I'm going to give this one to the Chiefs, 38-27.
Yeah, the Chiefs' offense is going to run circles around this Atlanta defense. They've struggled all year, and the Chiefs look better than they do last year. Their pass rush is very good, and Atlanta's offense line hasn't been great. This is going to be an easy win for the Chiefs, 38-10.
Our next one, Panthers-Washington. I think this Panthers team is just like the Falcons. I don't know if it's like a divisional thing, but their defense cannot close out games either. I think that's how they lost to that Packers team in the Saturday night matchup. This Washington team, on the other hand, their defense is good. I think they held Russell Wilson to a touchdown and an interception under 200 yards, I believe. I think he only threw for 124. And the key for the Panthers is CMC back? I don't know if he is. He might not be. I like Washington. I think it's a closer one, but I like Washington in a lower scoring game, 20-17.
Yeah, I think that the way that the Washington D-line, especially Chase Young, have just been destroying offensive lines that they're playing against, I just think it's going to be a tough challenge for Carolina to keep up. I think even if McCaffrey's playing, we all know what a big impact McCaffrey can make on a game. But this Washington defense has looked good in recent weeks, and with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback, I just don't know that they're going to be able to get it done offensively. And the defense, I don't know if they're able to keep up with Terry McLaurin, maybe Antonio Gibson if he's playing. So I'm going to give this one to Washington, 27-20.
Yeah, I think I could see an upset here, given that Carolina's played teams like Green Bay, Kansas City, and New Orleans very close. I'm still going to give it to Washington in a close game, but Carolina definitely a team to look out for. I think if a team to watch for this game is Carolina against Washington. They could definitely pull up the upset. I'm still going to give it to Washington in a close game, 24-20.
Browns, Jets.
This is
If
crazy.
you guys are new,
Wow.
Serge is a Jets fan. We're all New York based, so we have, we're New York fans. But I mean, yeah, I don't think the Jets you just can't ever favor. I think Serge understands. You can't favor this team. Their defense is full of. Their secondary, I'm pretty sure, is full of all rookies. I think the best part about their team, and I know it's terrible to see because they're going to get Trevor Lawrence. I think the best part of their team is Sam Darnold, who's obviously looking now good against the Rams. I think this Brown defense is good enough. I would love to see that Mekhi Becton Myles Garrett matchup, but I think it's a Browns win, 23-13.
I think the Jets are going to be able to keep up with the Browns offense. Chubb and Hunt have looked good, have looked like the best running back tandem in the league. I mean, they're just both such prolific rushers, and I think the Jets defense just not going to be able to keep up. Add in the Browns passing attack in recent weeks. Baker Mayfield has looked really, really good. We obviously haven't seen what he's done yet against the Giants this week, which should be a test for him, but I think I have to give this one to Cleveland, 34-13.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm a Jets fan, even if they do win this game, which would be amazing, I think we still have the first pick. But because of conference records, Jacksonville would have.
If you're a Jets fan, I wouldn't want them to win it. If they win against the Rams, I wouldn't want them to win against the Browns in terms of draft wise.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'd still have the first pick. That's another topic, though. I love Mekhi Becton. What a player. But that's not the point. Browns will win just because they have such a good run offense, and Baker's playing better by the week. Browns are a very good team. They'll win 28-13.
Next one, Bears, Jaguars. Minshew, I mean, I think he got sacked 4 times or back-to-back sacks. Got sacked like 4 times in a quarter, a half. This Jaguars team, if there's any team that would take over the Jets, it's them in terms of draft-wise. But, you never know. They still have a win. The Bears, it's a volatile team. They look good. They look bad. I like the Bears in this one, and I think it's a pretty big win, 30-17.
Yeah, I actually think this is going to be a closer one, and I actually just changed my prediction. I had Jacksonville winning. However, I then remembered that Trubisky's now at quarterback, and he played well enough this week, and Montgomery played outstanding. I mean, they gave him the ball 32 times, which I think is something they need to start doing more because Montgomery, when he has the ball, he's electrifying.
He's a god.
Yeah,
obviously,
he has been playing incredible.
the Bears' passing attack has not been great all season, switching from Trubisky to Foles and then back to Trubisky. I just think that if they keep the ball with Montgomery more, and then when Trubisky does have the ball in his hands, he throws it to the bigger threats like Allen Robinson, I think Chicago can win this one, which is why I have them winning it 27-21.
Yeah, what is it with Mitchell Trubisky playing so well recently?
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking pretty solid, honestly. He looks like the number 2 pick, and honestly, against a Jacksonville team that is much worse than the competition he's faced before, he should definitely be able to win. I think it's going to be a very good performance again. Expect another big game from Montgomery. I'll give it to the Bears, 31-17.
Next game, Texans, Bengals. Speaking about teams that don't deserve elite quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson. I mean, Kiki QT, not his fault, but very fumbles right outside the end zone where they would have tied the game. I know this Colts defense is good and they practice, getting the ball from defense in practice, but it's just, you look at Deshaun, they were framed in on Deshaun's face and he was just like, what else can I do? There's nothing else you can do. I think that's what they've noticed. The Bengals, although the story to this team is Joe Burrow's out, I think they've kind of noticed that and held back this season, trying to get, hopefully, if you guys have seen our draft content, Penei Sewell. I don't know. I think it's a Texans win. I think Deshaun Watson can take this team, this defense. Texans win this one 27-18.
Yeah, it's strange because every single time I think about this Houston team and I think about Deshaun Watson and how good Deshaun Watson is, and then how much better he could be if they didn't trade away DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, I still think about that every single time I have to think about Houston. It's just DeAndre Hopkins, and he's not even there. He's the biggest impact on this team, and he's not even on the team. But I am going to give this one to Houston. I just don't think Cincinnati have a good enough team without Joe Burrow. I'm going to give this one to Houston, 21-13.
No, a lot of it. When I think about Deshaun Watson, I think, what if the Chiefs took him? When they traded up on 2017, they had the chance in Mahomes and Watson. If Watson gets, He's already a beast, but he'd be incredible in that offense. But that's not the point. Even with a terrible situation, he's so good that he will carry the team to a win. I think Deshaun will lead the Texans to a win 31-10.
Sunday, really good game. Colts Steelers. Great game. And I think, again, if the Steelers are going to lose, this is another team that can beat them. Something I've noticed and something that has driven my draft prediction for the Steelers team is just Ben Roethlisberger is getting carried by this receiving corps, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Chase Claypool. And I really think the dancing on TikTok and all that has caught up to them. Josh Allen, was pissed off and he killed it. I mean, they absolutely manhandled the Steelers team. As well as I said, the Steelers have not played yet. They're playing tomorrow night against the Bengals. I think regardless if they win against the Bengals, I think the Colts can win this game, and just how the form the Steelers are in, I like the Colts to win this. They've been in very good form, and I think the Colts can force turnovers. I like the Colts in this one. I think it's a closer game, 20-17.
Yeah, I think that Pittsburgh will get back on the winning track here. I think that although the Colts have looked good in recent weeks, they squeaked out a win against the Texans, and I just feel like their offense isn't nearly strong enough to just score too many points against Pittsburgh. Their defense we know has been good, but Pittsburgh, I don't know how they score more than 10 points per game with Roethlisberger at quarterback and just the way their offense has been moving. But they do. So I am going to give this one to Pittsburgh. Just a pure defensive. I mean, not really shutting them down, but 23-20. I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh.
I mean, while Roethlisberger has benefited from a very talented receiving core, in recent weeks, they've been plagued with drops. Ebron, Deontay Johnson, even Juju, they've all been dropping way too many passes. They need to catch the ball more often. But another problem, they're not running the ball. They have no run game in recent games, and they need to run the ball, especially if they're going to play good defense like the Colts. Even if they do have a good run defense, you have to at least give them the chance to run the ball so that the Colts are aware of it. That being said, I'm going to give it to the Steelers barely. I would not be surprised whatever way this goes. I'm going to give the Steelers 17-14. Defensive battle.
Schedule. Broncos Chargers, good divisional game. Justin Herbert, speaking of quarterbacks who don't deserve their team, or teams that don't deserve their quarterback. Well, that's not, I think just the form they're in. I think a new head coach and they'll fix that. I like the Chargers. I think it's a easier game, 23-17.
Yeah, I don't think this one will be very close. Denver's situation the past couple weeks has not been good. Denver have looked like one of the not-so-good teams in the NFL this year, and the Chargers, despite not having a great record, keep opponents close. And Denver is one of those teams that not only will they keep them close, but I think they'll blow them out. 34-10, they'll get that offense moving. Justin Herbert will throw a bunch of touchdown passes. I think he'll have a field day.
I think this game depends on which Drew Lock we see. Either the Drew Lock who 4 touchdowns against Carolina, or the Drew Lock who we just saw against Buffalo, who really struggles. I think it's going to be somewhere in between. Herbert is going to have his classic good game. I think the Chargers are going to be mad that they lost. They choked to the Broncos last time on one of the last plays of the game. I think the Chargers get revenge here. Herbert's just such an amazing player. 34-27 Chargers.
Boys, I think this is actually a pretty big game. The two losing teams in the NFC East.
Well, they're all losing teams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the two bottom teams, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a close one. The Cowboys defense has really stepped up. Neville Gallimore. Sorry, not Neville. I don't know why I actually said him. I think he's been stepping up decently. I think the second or third round pick from Oklahoma. This Eagles offense is looking good with Jalen Hurts, and that's why I like the Eagles to win 17-13.
Yeah, I think that Dallas looked actually pretty good this week with Dalton kind of in his element a little bit more. CeeDee Lamb had a big game, and I just think that although Michael Gallup had the injury, I think that Dallas are going to be able to stay on top of Philadelphia. I just think that the Philly offense with Jalen Hurts, although it's good, it's not good enough. And the Dallas defense looked pretty solid this week. So I'm going to give this one to Dallas, 21-17.
Close game. I'm also going to give it to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts he's looked good, and he's really giving that Eagles offense life. And the Cowboys defense isn't very good. I think the Eagles defense isn't terrible, so I think they should kind of do a better job than the Cowboys defense, that's what it'll come down to. So I'm gonna give it to the Eagles 30-27.
Have the Rams against the Seahawks. If the Rams lose to the Jets, I'm kind of mad they didn't lose already. I would have been clowning them in this video. Well, we'll get them next time. But there's a lot of good divisional games. Another good divisional game. Here, the key is just Russell Wilson is throwing turnover. We saw what happened the last time we played the Rams. He threw a couple picks, and I think that might happen again. I don't know, but it's hard to call, but I think the Rams win again. And they win 28-27. Close game. They get a 2-point conversion to win it.
Yeah, I think that Seattle have just looked very mediocre. They almost lost to Washington today. They kept it close, and Russell Wilson just didn't look that good. 18 for 27, only 121 yards, a touchdown and a pick. I mean, that's just about as inefficient we've seen him all year, and I just feel like, although that is the case, he's got good receiving threats. They rematched the Rams, and the Rams right now are getting beat up by the Jets. I just feel like I am going to give this one to Seattle. A one-score game, 31-24.
Yeah, I think there's one big difference from the Rams game a few weeks ago for this game now. The Seattle defense is significantly better. I think in that game, going into that game, Seattle was one of the worst defenses in the league. They were setting records for ineptitude. They've really cleaned it up. They look like a whole new unit, and I think that's going to be the difference. The Rams offense isn't the best. I think that's the difference. Russ won't put up outstanding numbers, but it's going to be good enough. I'm going to give it to the Seahawks 20-17.
Titans-Packers. I think this is a big one. Titans, Derrick Henry just keeps on, holding the throne as I think the best running back in the NFL right now. The Packers, although Aaron Jones had a resurgence after not playing incredibly, Aaron Rodgers, I think, is the MVP candidate that I feel like people aren't talking about as much as they should. And Devontae Adams, he's the best receiver in the league. So I feel like they have the best quarterback and best receiver in the league. I don't see how this mediocre, maybe above average Titans secondary can stop them. Give me the Packers 33-30.
Yeah, I think this will be a close one, but I'm actually leaning in the other direction. I think that a lot of teams have trouble stopping Henry, if not all teams have trouble stopping Henry. And even if you can't stop him, you can't even slow him down. I just feel like he had an incredible week this week with 147 yards and a touchdown, and that's because he got only like 2 or 3 carries in the fourth quarter because they were winning by so much. I think that the Green Bay offense has looked a little sluggish. They didn't get Devontae Adams involved enough, and they only scored 24 points against a struggling Panthers team. I just feel like I'm going to have to give this one to Tennessee, but I could definitely see Green Bay taking it 28-24 Tennessee.
I'm actually going to agree with Charlie. I'm going to go with the Titans. The Packers have one of the worst rush defenses in the league, and Henry is one of, if not the best running back in the league. I think he's the best in the league by far,
Yeah.
which with the way he's been playing. He's even an MVP candidate with Rodgers. I think the only way to stop Rodgers and Adams, because they are, in my opinion, the best QB to wide receiver duo, is to keep them off the field. And not many teams can do that, but Tennessee is one of those teams. And especially with that run defense, you saw with Dalvin Cook, when the Vikings played the Packers, he kept them off the field, and the Vikings were able to win that game. And the Vikings don't have a great secondary or defense either. But if they can do that, and I think they definitely can, Tannehill is a good quarterback, Tennessee will win this game. Give me the Titans 31-28.
Week Monday Night Football, 8:15, Bills, Patriots. And the Patriots have been eliminated from the playoffs first time in 11 years. That's hype.
Sir.
Well, I feel like it would have been better if Brady was on the team. So it's not like
That's
Well,
true,
nah,
that's
I
true.
don't know.
It's
I don't know
not-
if Brady's ever going to get
it's not
eliminated from the
Brady.
playoffs, but
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's true.
it's still Bill Belichick.
Josh Allen, I think, is again a sneaky MVP candidate. I think the growth he has had from last year to this year is gigantic. I think he's one of, if there was is there a most improved player? No, there isn't. Never mind. If there was a most, actually, never mind.
There's a comeback player.
Yeah,
like,
if there was
no,
yeah,
that's not a
really.
comeback player.
If
That's
there was
not
most improved, I feel like he probably wouldn't win it just because he's been like playing very well. But I feel like he should. He's been just incredible for this team. Stephon Diggs has proven to be, possibly one of the best acquisitions in the NFL this season. He's been absolutely incredible. Right now, actually no, he might not be. Sorry, but I like the Bills in this game, 27-10.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bills on this one. I just don't think the Patriots have enough offensive firepower to keep up with the Bills' offense. And even though the Bills' offense pretty much only consists of Allen and Diggs, I just think that the Patriots' offense only consists of nothing. And I just have to give this one to the Bills.
Bro, Demiri Bird, like, what are you saying? Like, he's
sorry. Demir Bird is
Jacoby
very
Myers
good.
is decent. He's okay.
Well, I mean, they're both like what, number 2 receivers, number 3 receivers maybe.
Yeah.
But I have to give this one to Buffalo, 31-16.
Yeah, I agree. I think Buffalo's defense is also really shoring up in recent games, which is scary. I think they're one of the only teams to have a chance of beating Kansas City in the postseason. Honestly, I think I'm excited to see the J.C. Jackson versus Stephon Diggs matchup, one of the best wide receivers against one of the best cornerbacks in the league. No matter what, though, I think Buffalo's winning. Cam isn't the answer. He's probably not staying with the Patriots after this season. Give me Buffalo 35-17.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. It's crazy to think we're getting to the end of NFL predictions. So, we started this beginning of the NFL season, but it's feels like a long time. There's one more week after this. So stick around for next week. Thank you guys so much. This will probably be the last serious-ish one, just because next week there'll be basically all playoff spots have been. Actually, that's not necessarily true for all the weeks, but never mind. I'm rambling on. I don't really know what I'm saying. As well, check out all of our socials. They are linked in our description. You can check out our TikTok. I say it every time, but we don't really use it anymore, so you don't have to. Our Instagram, definitely check that out. That is where we post a lot of our content. You can DM us over there. As well, check out our website. I actually will post Surridge's article after this. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.